Okay, so we'll be starting in next few minutes. Hi everyone, I hope you got my emails also. Yeah, about your attendance. Oh. Okay, so we are going to start a new module today. That is OSPF. So we have to cover these things. Okay, so this is what we are starting today, OSPF BGP MPLS. Okay. So what we are going to learn. So just 5 minutes quick introduction. So in this module, we are going to learn OSPF BGP MPLS. Okay, and what OSPF topics we will be covering here. So we will start with OSPF overview, then OSPF network statement, authentication. Okay, just hold on. Let me use my screen brush. Okay, got it. Okay, so we'll be talking about OSPF overview, basic OSPF today. Then we'll talk about network statement OSPF, then interface mode, passive interface. We'll understand about the OSPF metric, DR, BDR calculation. Okay, so which router is DR, which is BDR? Hello packets parameters. Okay, this is hello. Then OSPF states, OSPF cost. Then we'll talk about the OSPF LSAs like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 5, type 4. Okay. So mostly every topic we are covering here is related to interviews. Because if you go to any interviews in OSPF, mostly people ask you maybe what is DR, BDR, right? So maybe they can ask you, okay, tell me what is OSPF states. Okay, so they can ask about OSPF LSAs. So means all the topics are important. Do not ask me when I start this module. Do not ask me, sir, what is interview question? Okay, guys, clear? Yeah. Raise hand if you understand what I'm trying to say. I can't see you all. Turn on your cameras, guys. Where are you all? We have great. Okay, guys. Okay, there is second page also today. So, okay, great. Okay, so these all topics are important. So everything we will cover here is related to interviews. Okay. Then we talk about some OSPF authentications, OSPF ABR, ASBR. What is ABR? What is ASBR? What is authentication? What is MD5 authentication? Okay, so all these things will be covered. So after that, we will be covering here OSPF stub areas. Okay, like if you have done stub in EAGRP, that's okay. But OSPF stub areas are completely different than EAGRP. Okay. So if you do not have EAGRP knowledge, still you will be able to understand OSPF. Okay. So totally stub area, not so stubby area, totally stubby area, okay, NSSA and all. Then we'll talk about redistribution, how we can add different protocols in OSPF, okay, how we can add static routes in OSPF, how we can add directly connected, and we'll talk about virtual link also. Like if so, there is a concept in OSPF like you cannot connect multiple like you cannot connect different areas without area zero. I'm sure some of you know about OSPF little bit, but if you do not have knowledge on that, don't worry, because we'll be talking about OSPF BGP MPLS from very very basic. Okay, so virtual के spelling गलत है यहाँ पे, ignore. Okay, then we'll talk about BGP, which is more important. So let me show you the OSPF lab also. Okay, so I've created like 3 different new labs for this module. Okay, so this is going to be our OSPF lab. Okay, I'm trying to create a topology where we can practice all OSPF BGP MPLS together also, because I'm trying to create a real design. Okay, so this is OSPF. So I'm not well today little bit, so but I am trying to make this before the class. Okay, then I thought, okay, leave it. You all know that we will cover this, don't worry. Okay, so this is the lab, OSPF lab, where we will be connecting different locations with each other. And Delhi, you can see there is a router Delhi and there is a router Mumbai. So we'll be connecting Delhi office and Mumbai with ISP. So there is a Airtel router and there is a Airtel MPLS, because I'm sure 90% of your companies have similar design, that in company routers you have one internet link and one MPLS link. Okay, so we'll talk about OSPF here. And after that, you need to be very good at BGP. Okay. So BGP is again a different lab where your company router like Delhi, Mumbai, you can see the design. Then Delhi, Mumbai is connected further with Airtel and Vodafone, and how you can play with the BGP. Okay. This is what we are going to say. This is the going to be the real BGP lab where you will give me the work and I will do the lab. What I'm trying to say. Okay. So suppose Lovedeep asked me, okay, do one thing, send all traffic from Mumbai. Okay, for Google, Facebook, all traffic will go from Mumbai. But when Google or Facebook traffic will come from internet, that traffic will come from Airtel. Okay, so means you all will be giving me requirements. I'll be going to configure that so that you understand how we do in the real scenarios also. आप मुझे कोई भी चैलेंज दे सकते हो यहाँ पे. ओके, गिव मी एनी चैलेंज. ओके, दैट सेंड माय आउटगोइंग ट्रैफिक फ्रॉम एयर. ओके, और get my incoming traffic from Delhi. Okay, or you can do also more complex concepts. You can give me more complex things also. Okay, so you can say that Google traffic you send from this side, Facebook traffic you send from this side. Okay, and Facebook traffic will come from this side and Google traffic will come from this side. Means you can give me any complex task so that I can perform and I can show you how we do in the real designs also. Okay, okay. So this is how we do BGP lab. Okay, so it's not like I'll show you some basic lab or like that. You can ask me anything about BGP configuration in this batch. Okay, according to the real designs. Okay, so this is what we are going to cover BGP, and the topics we will be covering: BGP basics, then we configure basic BGP, then we understand BGP network statement, BGP authentication, BGP multi-hop. Okay, all questions are interview based again. So in OSPF BGP, you can't skip anything. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? आप कुछ भी टॉपिक नहीं छोड़ सकते हो बॉस, आपको हर चीज आनी चाहिए ओएसपीएफ बीजीपी में. यू हैव टू लर्न एवरीथिंग अबाउट ओएसपीएफ बीजीपी बिकॉज दैट इज द मेन protocols on IT networks. Okay, so then we will talk about like loopbacks, use loopbacks in BGP. Then we talk about next hop self, route reflector, peer groups. And then we understand about access list, prefix list in OSPF also and in BGP also. Okay. Then we talk about BGP attributes like what is local preference, what is MED, multi-exit discriminator. Okay, wait. So what are these attributes? Because of these things only, I will be going to configure the lab. Like after learning BGP attributes, you will be also able to configure that you will send all traffic from Mumbai and accept all traffic from Delhi. Okay, so these kind of customization we can do with the help of BGP attributes. So BGP attributes is something which is very, very important also, so that you understand what is MED, local preference overview. Okay, and why it is very, very important, why I'm saying, because if you go to Cisco or Juniper, okay, or maybe any company, okay, so means their websites also have same concepts, like you can learn BGP from Juniper websites also. Okay, so but you will be able to understand in a more clear way when you understand BGP overview. Okay, so in this batch you will be able to understand Cisco technologies, and after that, like if you get lucky, because you may get a Juniper course from my side also. Okay, so once you complete BGP Cisco, what I'm teaching you, then you will be getting a Juniper also, so that you can put in your resume that you have Cisco and Juniper both OSPF BGP MPLS knowledge. Okay, and after that MPLS. So in MPLS is a very, very big topic. Even I can take 50-60 hours of MPLS classes, but these three topics will take almost I can say minimum 30-35 hours, and it can go to 40 hours. Means like we have to spend 12 to 13, 14, means again 2 to 3 months, okay, with these topics. Okay, but this is the more important topics. So the topics, most of you joined my CCN and RC batch, and these, so in CCNP and RC, there is no MPLS configuration. Okay, if you go with the Cisco content, there is no MPLS configuration, but I'll teach you MPLS configuration. In CCNP and RC, you do not have route reflector. Okay, I will teach you route reflector. There is no BGP configuration topic is very important also. That is also not a part of CCNP and RC. I will teach you also that configuration. Means this is the same level of OSPF BGP, okay, and MPLS what you get in CCI. Are you getting my point, guys? तो जो आप CCI में पढ़ते हो वही सेम कंटेंट मैं इस मॉड्यूल में पढ़ाने वाला हूँ. ओके, सो द सेम काइंड ऑफ एक्सपर्टाइज एंड नॉलेज यू विल बी गेटिंग इन दिस मॉड्यूल. ओके, okay, so let's start the topic. Okay, so those who want to join from this OSPF BGP, they can also join. Okay, so let's start the basic theory, okay, about OSPF. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so here we start. So the topic is OSPF. Okay, do you mind to share the notes PDF? Don't worry, I'll share. The recording is on now. Okay, so OSPF stand for open shortest path first. Okay, so this is the full form open shortest path first. Okay, so this is the full form and it is a link state protocol. Okay, so link state, we are going to manage all the links. Okay, link state. Okay, so in OSPF, we understand all, suppose there are 4 routers. Okay, so suppose this is router 1 and this is router 2, router 3, router 4. Okay, so when you learn OSPF very well, you will understand they all are part of one area. Let's call this is area 0. Okay, so when you configure OSPF, we have to configure routers in area, which I will explain you. Okay, but all these links, okay, we are going to maintain a database. Okay, we are going to maintain a database. So there is a table called database table. Okay, so database table. So we are going to manage all the links. Okay, where we will add all the link information inside which table? Database table. Okay, so we are going to we are going to add all the links in the database table. Also, we manage their state. Okay, so there are state like link is stable or not. Okay, that you can understand. Link state protocol. Okay, so this is also known as link state protocol. Okay, the AD value in Cisco routers, is 110. Okay, so AD value stand for administrative distance. So, but when you go to Juniper, okay, so when you go to Juniper, the AD value of OSPF is 10. Okay, when you go to Huawei, the AD value is 10. Okay, so OSPF is a open standard protocol. Which protocol? Open standard protocol. Okay, OSPF is a open standard protocol. Okay, when it comes to different companies, Cisco AD value means if Cisco is learning a route, suppose from 𝐊𝐲RP, okay, so 𝐊𝐲RP is like 90, right? OSPF is 110. Okay, RIP, which is we do not use a RIP now, 120. Okay, but when it goes to the Juniper or any other company, okay, so 𝐊𝐲RP is not supported, right? 𝐊𝐲RP is a Cisco protocol. Now it is open standard, but still many companies are not using that. Okay, but in Juniper, like if you talk about in Juniper, we do not have 𝐊𝐲RP. OSPF is 10 and RIP is 100. Okay, so this is also if you check about Huawei or any other company, so mostly Huawei, Juniper also have the similar kind of 10 or 100 for RIP. Okay, so there is one another protocol which is ISIS. Okay, in ISIS, Cisco is 115 and Juniper is, I think, Juniper, यहाँ पे भी लिखा होगा मैंने कहीं notes में. Yeah, it's 15. Yeah, I got it. 15. Okay, can you see Cisco has 115 and it has 15. Okay, in OSPF, in Cisco routers, we have 110 and in Juniper routers or Huawei routers, we have 10. So Cisco call this AD value. So in Cisco, we say this is the AD value. In Juniper, this is called route preference. Okay, route preference. Clear? So it has a AD value 110 because we all are learning more specific to Cisco. So this is the, okay, so it has a multicast address. So it has two multicast address. One is 224.0.0.5 and one is 224.0.0. ये dot नहीं लग रहा. Yeah, 224. So what is the difference? So 224.0.0.5 is for all routers. Okay, all लिखा है मैंने यहाँ पे ALL all Cisco route, all OSPF routers. Okay, all OSPF routers. Okay, but 224.0.0.6 is for some special routers, what we call DR and BDR. Okay, which we will understand. So DR, BDR is like the main router of Cisco, not Cisco main router of OSPF. Okay, so which we will understand DR, BDR, but this is the interview question. What is the difference between 224.0.0.5 and 6? So at least if you give an interview tomorrow, at least you know 5 is for all OSPF router and 6 is for DR, BDR. Okay, so that is my expectation from all of you. Okay, I'm not saying that you become expert in one day. Okay, but just remember this theory, basic theory in Cisco. Okay, so OSPF uses a special, OSPF has 3 tables. Let me tell you 3 tables. Okay, so the first table, 3 tables in OSPF. The first table is called neighbor table, where you store all the neighbors. Okay, directly connected neighbors. What we add here, directly connected neighbors, directly connected neighbors. In database table, we add link information. And in the third table, which is routing table, we add the best path. Okay, so best paths are available in the routing table. Where's my charger? Okay. Okay, so OSPF is developed by IETF. OSPF is made by Internet Engineering Task Force, IETF. Okay, and the scientist name was, क्या था इसके scientist का नाम? Atul Sharma? No, 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤. Okay, so I just remember, maybe I'm wrong, just to confirm on Google. Okay, 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤. So he has written a book also, OSPF Anatomy. Okay, if anybody wants to get expertise in OSPF, they can read that book after this batch. Okay, because in this batch, I want you to focus on the core part of OSPF. And after that, the book will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so OSPF made by Internet Engineering Task Force, 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤, but he has not fully developed this protocol, guys. Notes मैं दे दूंगा, don't worry. Okay, recording is also going on. Focus in the class. So OSPF made by 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤, but there is an algorithm which is used in OSPF, that is SPF, shortest path first. Okay, shortest path first, and this is an algorithm which is made by, which is created by 𝐊𝐢𝐧𝐠𝐬. It is also known as 𝐊𝐢𝐧𝐠𝐬 algorithm. Okay, so he is the scientist who created this SPF algorithm. Okay, but 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤 has made a protocol. OSPF is a protocol, SPF is an algorithm. Clear, everyone? What is the difference between SPF and OSPF? SPF is an algorithm and OSPF is a protocol. Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'll bring my charger and read this in your mind 3 times. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so let me take a screenshot of this. Okay, after that, why OSPF is widely used? Because almost 80% of companies are using this OSPF. Okay, so I'll keep removing the content. Okay, so don't worry, but I am taking the screenshots. Okay, so in OSPF, like why it is widely used in enterprise networks, widely used net in IT networks, you can say. So why it is widely used in IT networking? Okay, so because you can configure on Cisco routers. Okay, you can configure on a multi-layer switches. Okay, suppose you have a Cisco multi-layer switches. You can configure on a Cisco layer 3 switches also. You can configure on Cisco routers. Okay, you can configure on big routers also. Okay, like so the series what we are learning is like ISR, integrated service router. Okay, integrated service router. So normal routers like company में जो use होते हैं, the ISR routers used in head office or branch offices. Okay, but there are big routers also, like big series. Okay, those are called ASR routers, aggregation service routers, integrated service routers. Okay, so aggregation routers also, like you can configure Cisco. So suppose you have a firewall. Okay, okay, firewall का symbol कैसे बनाऊं यार मैं? Okay, something. Okay, so consider this is a firewall. Okay, so whether it is a Palo Alto firewall, whether it is a checkpoint, FortiGate. Okay, so if you heard about these firewalls, right? Okay, or even if a device, Palo Alto, checkpoint, or any firewall in the market today, good firewall. So they also support OSPF. So it means you can configure a hybrid environment in your company. You can use a different company, Cisco, Juniper, Palo Alto, checkpoint, because it support multi-vendor. Okay, so it is a multi-vendor routing protocol. So you can use different companies and you can configure this design. Okay, so this is the important thing about. Okay, so let me show you a screenshot. Okay, so you can see a picture where a Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so you can see a design here where a Palo Alto firewall is connected to a switch, and then in switch like we have configured VLANs, and you can configure OSPF on VLANs also. Suppose you have three different departments: sales, marketing, admin, three different vertical in your company, or four different, five, whatever VLANs you have. You can configure OSPF on those VLANs also. Okay, but you need to understand inter VLAN concept. Okay, how many of you understand inter VLAN concept with SVI? Raise hand. Most of you, right? Okay, so that's a part of basic in CCNA also, like we have studied, right? So mostly everyone, right? But don't worry, I'll give you some concepts again so that you can revise those things. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me talk about the history. Okay, so it is like version 1. It was introduced very long back. Okay, but it never came in the market. Okay, so there was a OSPF version 1, but it was described in RFC. So whenever you read a book, whenever you read all any notes, PDF, anywhere on internet, what is RFC? So RFC is called request for commit. Okay, what is this RFC? So RFC stand for request for comment. So this is what we call research paper. Okay, so जब भी आपको RFC सुनते हो, so RFC stand for request for comments, and you can always read the research paper. Suppose when you go for interviews, and it will happen with you in future, or maybe it happened already when you give interviews. So the interviewer is saying this is the concept, and you think this is the concept. Okay, so because I have faced this issue, I have given a lot of interviews in last 10-11 years. Okay, so I say, suppose in OSP there is a concept, which router will be selected first, who will send a packet first, master or slave. In half of the books it is written master router will send a packet first. In half of the books it is written like slave will send a packet first. Because who will do the work, slave or master? Slave, right? First. So according to this theory, everyone is saying, oh man, so that is a slave router. So slave will send a packet first. But in some packet, okay, master will command. So master will send a packet. So it is like confusion. So whenever you have these kind of confusions, okay, so whenever you face that kind of things in interviews, you can always come back and read the research papers also, because I have done that, okay, which helped me a lot. I'm not saying that I've expertise all the research papers, but yes, it helped me a lot in when I stuck in any interviews, or if I feel like I am correct, but the interviewer, because sometimes the interviewer also is not he has good knowledge, I'm sure, but sometimes their concept and your concept will clash. And for that reason, you can remember, okay, that yeah, sir, this is the concept, and I have read in the RFC 1247. Okay, so just for eye catching, okay, so just remember this 1247 or 12328. Okay, whenever, if you are very, very confident about your OSPF knowledge, you can say that, sir, I have studied this in RFC 1247. बात खत्म. ओके, वहीं पे इंप्रेस है इंटरव्यूअर. ओ मैन, रिसर्च पेपर पढ़ता है यार ये. ओके, देख भी लेना गलती से कभी ये है क्या, ठीक है. सो जस्ट हैव ए लुक ऑन दिस RFC 12472328. Okay, because sometimes if you are very confident about your knowledge, you can always give a reference in interviews that I've gone through to RFC 1247, and in that it is written the master router will send a packet first. Okay, so then we have OSPF. So version IP version 4, we use our version 2. Okay, so version 1 is experimental. Okay, version 1 we have not used. We use version 2 for IP version 4 and version 3 for IPv6 networks. Clear, everyone? Version 4 is for IPv4 and version 3 for IPv6. Okay, so in OSPF you can add as many routers you want, because it has unlimited routers. Okay, so it has unlimited routers, and OSPF works on protocol number 89. It supports subnetting, summarization, authentication. I think let me add here. Okay, so in OSPF work on protocol number 89. Okay, so it's a protocol number. Okay, directly it works on OSPF IP89. Okay, means suppose if you are remember, IP is a big protocol. Yeah. So under IP there are many protocols like ICMP. It has a protocol number 1, TCP. It has a protocol number 6. Then we have UDP. It has 17. Then we have OSPF. It has 89. Okay, it means OSPF directly report to IP protocol. So it means in OSPF we cannot use TCP. We cannot use UDP, because OSPF is working on the same level where TCP UDP is working. So ICMP has 1, TCP has a 6, UDP 17, OSPF 89. Okay. So this is the concept. And OSPF support subnetting. OSPF support VLSM. So what is VLSM? Variable length subnet mask. Okay. VLSM पता है ना? Variable length subnet mask. Okay. So suppose routers configured. Okay, where we have configured IP 1.1.1. Okay, another 1.1.2, but /30. Okay, so they are using /30. So the routers will be able to support, because OSPF support VLSM, variable length subnet mask. OSPF has a summarization support. So what is summarization? That if you have a lot of LAN network, suppose in your LAN network, you have 3 different departments. Okay, like sales, marketing, admin. Okay, so you have 3 different departments and you have 192.168 1.0 here. So okay, so this is another network, 192.168 2.0. Then you have 192.168 3.0. Okay, so these are 3 different networks. But when you send information to this router 2, okay, so router 2 will receive how many networks? 3, right? So all 3 networks will be sent to router 2. Okay, so just imagine if router 2 is also connected with 100 plus locations. Okay, router 2 is your head office. So if head office is connected with a lot of branches, branch 1, branch office 2, branch office 3, branch office up to 100. So if one branch office is sending 3 networks, then 100 branches will send how many networks? 300 networks. Yeah. If 300 networks will be added to your routing table, it means your routing table size will increase. Yes. अगर 300 network routing table में आ गए तो size बढ़ गया ना. So if 300 networks will come in your routing table, the size will increase. Okay, tell me, routing table works on which memory, RAM or ROM or flash? Routing table is the part of RAM. Okay, it means your computer RAM, like when you play games, your computer RAM, right, increases when you use a lot, right? So you need mobile in your mobile phones nowadays, you need a good RAM. The same way, router also need a good RAM. Okay, the very normal routers, like normal routers have 2 GB RAM. Okay, so 4 GB RAM, it can go up to 8 GB also. Okay, so the similar RAM you guys get in your mobile phones. Okay, but on some different technology. So just imagine router also has a RAM. If company have 100 locations, the routing table size will increase and it will impact your CPU. And OSPF is a highly CPU intensive protocol. Okay, according to the books. But nowadays routers are fast. So yes, but in comparison to other protocols, OSPF still takes more CPU. It is like when you play Call of Duty, it takes a lot of RAM, right? If you have played any time, or maybe any big game like Counter-Strike and all. But when you play, like, what we call that game? Dabbe Dabbe Wali. I don't forget. Not PUBG. PUBG is also heavy. अरे वो वैसे से वो गोलियां सी काटते रहते ना, क्या थी वो गेम? टेट्रिस, माइनक्राफ्ट? नो नो, कैंडी क्रश. या कैंडी क्रश मैन, कैंडी क्रश. So Candy Crush will not take much RAM, na? But PUBG or Counter Strike will take a lot of RAM the same way. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So after that, so let me give you some good design philosophies of OSPF. So basically, it's the thing I'm showing you is not part of, again, CCNP. It is a part of Cisco Certified Design Professional. I have taken this content from the reference of CCDP books. Okay. Are you getting? So what is the here written over? Why we use OSPF? Okay. Because we need to make sure when you design, because when you become a design expert, you need to focus on these three things when you configure Cisco OSPF, Cisco with OSPF, or like on any company. Okay, whenever you configure OSPF, you need to focus on three things. Okay, as an engineer, as when you are doing labs, you do not have to worry about these things. But when you working in a company, when you designing, okay, so you need to focus on memory, because OSPF takes a lot of memory. Because OSPF has a special messages which are called LSAs. Okay, OSPF के अंदर एक LSAs होते हैं. OSPF has LSA which takes a lot of memory, okay, and drain the CPU and memory, drain the CPU and memory resources of the router. Okay, so we need to have normal neighbors. Okay, you can't connect one router with 100 of neighbors. Okay, because in OSPF there is a concept of hello packets. Because all the routers in OSPF, they send hello packets to each other. OSPF neighbors. Okay, what is neighbor? So in Cisco, like if you router 1 is connected to router 2, router 3, and router 4. So then how many neighbors we have in router 1? 3. Okay, so you should have, because so once you become neighbor, or like to become a neighbor, OSPF send some packets to each other. That is called hello packet. Okay, so there is a time. Okay, there is a packet called hello, and the time is 10 seconds. So after every 10 seconds, you send a packet to your neighbor, and neighbor also send back a packet to you. Okay, means all the routers in the world today who are running OSPF, this time also they are sending hello packets. Okay, जाके देख लो. Okay, so OSPF is sending hello packets after every 10 seconds, and there is a dead timer. Okay, there is a dead timer which is called 40 seconds. What is dead timer? Okay, hold down. You can say hold down also. So if you send a hello packet to this router has to also send you hello packet in 40 seconds. Okay. Yes, you can change the timers. Okay, so that is an advanced concept, but as of now, we are learning the default concept. Okay. Okay, so after that, bandwidth, because OSPF also consume a lot of bandwidth. Okay, so if your network design is not good, then OSPF will eat your bandwidth, and every company will suffer from internet issues or bandwidth issues. Okay, so the users will start complaining their internet is not stable, or maybe one of your branch location in Mumbai or Delhi, they will complain their internet is not stable because maybe OSPF is taking a lot of memory and resources. Okay, so what could be the design we will understand. Okay, don't worry. But there is a concept called areas which we will have to understand. Okay, so let's understand the concept of areas. So in OSPF, so OSPF has a concept of areas. OSPF has a concept of areas. So what is areas? It is like, suppose like you are in Noida, Gurgaon, Bangalore, anywhere. Okay, so in any good city or in any big city today, okay, so there is a concept called sectors. Okay, in India, like maybe in different or colonies or something like that. Okay, different areas. Okay, or streets, in different we call streets or suburbs or something. A lot of concepts are there, but try to understand when a big city wants to manage all the stuff. Suppose this is very big city. Okay. So just understand, if all the different areas, so they have different people. Okay. So consider these are the people. Okay. Not routers. Okay. Lot of people. Right. So I'm talking about they are working, they are government employees, they are administrative officers. Okay. Because in a big city, maybe there are a lot of MLAs, what we call MC or something, right? Gully, street, municipality, corporation, different areas. Okay, so just understand they are managing the whole city. Okay, so now if you have a lot of people, you must be thinking then it's fine. Okay, so if there is a problem in this area, okay, so what will happen? Okay, so you should report to this admin officer only, right? You will not complain to this or this or this or this, right? If you have a complaint, suppose the road is not appropriate in your sector or in your area, the road is damaged, and you report to this guy, and instead of this guy, he's just reporting to everyone. Okay, the road is damaged. So what is happening? For a small issue, for one small issue, the entire admin officers are busy. Yes, एक प्रॉब्लम के लिए सारे लोग बिजी हो गए. Okay, so just understand. So do you think, is this a good way to manage a good city? So what if I create a small areas? Okay, what if I create a different areas? Okay, that you guys are in this area, you guys are in this area, you guys are in this area, you guys are in this area. Okay, like this. So what do you think? This is better? Yeah. So if they have any issue, they will, means these 6 people are going to focus on that area. So maybe if anyone is not in the office, maybe other guy can help. Okay. So this is the same concept of areas in OSPF. So whenever, suppose this is your Delhi router, this is Mumbai, this is Chennai, this is Kolkata. Okay. So this is India office. Consider these all 6 routers are India. Okay. So these 10 12 routers we have in UK. So this is our Singapore location. Okay, so this is our US location. Okay, so this is our maybe like France. Okay, and this is maybe our Dubai location. Okay, so I hope you understand. So tell me, if India Delhi LAN network, so in Delhi office, if a network is down, if Delhi network office is down, so you can send a packet to, okay, like maybe Mumbai, Kolkata, that do you have any path? Because the link between, okay, let's not talk about LAN network, because I'm not able to give a good example here. Okay, let's talk about a a location which is having a data center. Okay, suppose there is a data center in India, okay, which is connected to Delhi and also connected to Chennai. Okay, so this is India data center. Okay, so when a Delhi office data center link goes down, okay, so Delhi will ask Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. Okay, so that they can manage. So do you think we should send, if Delhi India data center link is down, so do you think we send a packet to UK, Dubai, Singapore? Okay, do we disturb all the country routers? Because I told you they are sending a CPU intensive messages which are called LSAs. Okay, so they send whenever anything happens in OSPF. Okay, so they send some messages which are called link state advertisements. Link state advertisements. Okay, तो हमें ये भेजने हैं. Okay, whenever a network is added, whenever a network is down, whenever a new network is added, anything happens in OSPF network, routers send LSAs. Okay, if anything happens, any changes in OSPF will create what LSAs. LSAs are link state, because OSPF is which protocol? Link state, right? And what we are sending advertisements, right? The same way when you watch TV, you get a lot of advertisements, blah, right? So just understand, whenever anything happens in OSPF network, OSPF start advertising to everyone. My network is down, my network is down, like that. Okay. So it means we are sending a lot of LSAs to the entire network. But if we have areas, then what will happen? We will only send LSAs in that area. Okay, means we will not flood LSA. Okay. So very, very, very important question. Why we use OSPF? Why we use areas? Now you got the point. Okay, to reduce LSA flooding. This is the best interview answer. Okay, to reduce LSA flooding. And what is LSA? LSA, if any changes happens in OSPF messages are called LSAs. Okay. So if you do not have areas, what will happen? LSA will flood throughout your entire network and it will eat your memory. It will reduce the what we call it will take a lot of CPU, the high memory, high CPU, high bandwidth. These three things will kill your company network: memory, CPU, and bandwidth. And OSPF is very good in that. OSPF को बहुत अच्छे से आता है करना. Okay, if you do not optimize OSPF very well, okay, it will be a problem. Okay, clear everyone? So why we have areas? Because OSPF send LSAs to each other, but when we have areas, what will happen? We will just have LSAs inside this area. Okay, but it does not mean we will not update other areas. We will send one or two messages to another area, but not that our India network is down. Okay, we will send some LSA, but not like to everyone. Okay, not to everyone, because when you do not have areas, you send to entire all routers. Okay, तो जब आप areas में नहीं होते, when you are not in areas, you send LSA1. Okay, which is very big problem, LSA1 or 2. Okay, we'll talk about what is LSA1. So you send LSA1 to the entire network, and which will actually create a very, very big database table. Okay, there is another problem why we are sending to all, because when you do not have areas, everyone will like behave like they are part of one area, and every area has a database table. Every area has a database table. Every area has a database table. Okay. So if every area has a database table, so it means, just imagine if you have 100 routers, then how big your database table is, like 100 plus entries, right? But if you have small areas, then you have small database tables, like 10 routers, 15 routers, right? So if you have thousands of routers, then you have 1000 information in the database table. Are you getting? Yes. Okay, let me repeat again, don't worry. Okay, so let's understand again, because I know when the things are important, I always repeat. So the people who understand in one go, they get little frustrated. क्या ये बार क्यों? बट ठीक है. Okay. Okay, so what we are learning? OSPF areas. Okay, so the problem is, like, if you do not have areas, the entire network will be in the problem. right? So just imagine if I remove the areas, all routers will talk to each other and they will create a very, very, very big table that is called database table. Okay, so some people call LSDB also because OSPF is which protocol? Link state. So everything in OSPF start with LS. Okay, link state database, LSDB, link state database. Okay, OSPF has a lot of packets like link state request, link state update, link state acknowledgement, link state advertisements. LS को याद रखना. Okay, link state. Okay, so we will be talking about all these packets and all. Don't worry. So where the database maintained in the router, sir? It is in the RAM only. Router maintain in their memory only, RAM. Okay. So SPF areas to reduce. So again, I am giving example. If one of your data center link is down, so if your network is down, so router send LSA packet to their neighbor, and then each neighbor will send a packet to all other neighbors. So what will happen? The packets will be circulated in the entire network, which will damage your memory, CPU, and bandwidth. Okay. So to save memory, CPU, and bandwidth, okay, because and who is impacting all memory, CPU, bandwidth? Who is the killer? LSA flooding. Okay. So just to understand in your brain, the circle I've made, this is like a flood that we are sending packets to everyone. That's called LSA flooding. And LSA flooding can cause memory, CPU, bandwidth issues. Okay. To fix this issue, we have what? OSPF areas. And once we create OSPF areas, okay, so you will have better link state database. And if you have better link state database, you have better optimization. Okay, means you will be able to manage OSPF very well. Okay, so it means we will be creating different areas. Okay, so maybe these are in different areas, these are in different. Okay, so these are some of the routers. Okay, so like that. Okay, like you can create as many like 3. So there is no such limit that you can have 3 routers or 5 routers or 100 routers. Okay, but the more routers you have, the more database table it will create. And if you have bigger database table, it will send a packet to all those 100 routers. Okay. So I hope you clear. Okay. So interview line to reduce LSA flooding, but you can always elaborate. Okay. To reduce LSA flooding, we use OSPF areas. Okay. So maybe somebody asks you what is OSPF flooding. So you can say any changes in OSPF, like OSPF router send LSA packets to each other. And if we send a lot of LSA packets, it will impact my CPU, memory, and bandwidth. Clear हो गया अभी सबको? To reduce LSA flooding, we use OSPF areas. Network same रहेगा सभी का. Sayyid, it's your choice, but you can have in the same areas, same network or in different network also. Okay, good question. So Sayyid is asking, so will they be in the same network or we can have in different areas as different network also? So kya, let's talk about. Okay. Okay, so when you connect routers, like you have 5 routers. Let's take an example, guys, 5 routers. Okay. And here we add like 4 routers again. So let's take 2 examples how you can design a OSPF network. Okay. So suppose this is all 5 routers. You can connect with a switch. You must be thinking then why, like, do we use switches also? Yes, I have seen this. Suppose this switch is on your data center. Okay. And you are connecting all your Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, okay, or whatever location, okay. Okay, so Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, or Pune. Okay, so suppose you connecting all your 5 locations. Okay, so these links, ये जो link है यहाँ पे, these links are like your MPLS links. Okay, you are asking ISP, can you connect all my offices in my data center? In data center, you have a switch. Okay, so where it's a good switch, not a normal switch. Okay, maybe it is a good series like Cisco 4500 series. It is now old. Okay, but there are all advanced switches also like Nexus and all. So means you can connect this design, and this is the same design we had when I was working for Apple. Okay, so means they connected a lot of locations like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, like different locations. So they have one data center in like Mumbai. Okay, and they have one data center in Chennai. Okay, like we have Chennai data center also. Okay, so in Chennai data center also you have a good say so Delhi office will have link to Mumbai data center and Chennai. The same way Chennai office also have link to Chennai, Kolkata, Pune, all have Chennai. Okay, so this is going to be the design. Okay, so in short, you can connect your locations with the switches, and they all should be. So when you connect the offices, so if you connect your offices like this, okay, so when you connect with the switches, so then in this type of network would be same. Network will be same. Okay, like you can give here 1.1.1.1, 1.1.1.2, 1.1.1.3, 1.1.1.4, 1.1.1.5. Okay, but there is another design here, guys. Okay, so you can connect your routers with the point-to-point links. Okay, you can give IP 1.1.1 here, 1.1.1.2. So there is another network 2.1.1, 2.1.1.2, 3.1.1.1. Okay, I hope you got the point. So now you can add all the routers in area. You can add all of them in any area. Suppose area 1. Okay, you can add all these routers also in area 1. I hope you got the point. So this is just a design philosophies, what we want to use in the company. Okay. So there are benefits of this also. Okay, there are benefits of this topologies also. Means there are pros and cons of both the designs. Okay, but like means everything is good nowadays because these switches are also nowadays very powerful. Okay, you can have dual power supply. Okay, if one processor is down, you can have dual power supervisor engines and all, which we can discuss. Okay, so means आप अपने OSPF network को कैसे भी बना सकते हो. You can create any type of design in your company. Okay, if you have multiple locations. Okay, like you have Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, different locations, you can connect in a different design. Do areas further divided into sub areas? No, Lovedeep. Sir, how about forming neighborship with the L3 networks in the same core switch to forward it to ISP? Yeah, you can connect with L3 networks and you can forward to ISP. Okay, means nowadays some switches. Okay, so obviously these are your MPLS links. They are not your internet links. Okay, so these are your MPLS or what we call private WAN. Okay, so all the links, what do you see in CCNA whenever we configure practicals? Okay, so maybe you don't know, but these are private WAN links. Okay, private WAN. Okay, so they are not internet links. We can connect on internet also. That is a different concept. Okay, so design आपको कब समझ आएंगे कंपनी के? Okay, understand when you understand the implementation, when you know how practical things work, then you will be able to understand the designs also. Okay, this is why always CCNP would be recommended first, then CCDP. Okay, so what is Cisco Certified Design Professional? which is like when you have 5 to 10 years industry experience, then you can go for a CCDP also. Okay. But certification is not required. You can just learn about design things. If I have two DC and want to connect it both DC, but also wanted to separate area like area 1, DC1. Yeah, you can do that, Anasul. So let me give you one more concept here. Okay, so area आपस में बात करते हैं. Areas are not VLANs that they do not talk to each other by default. Areas talk to each other by default. Okay. So let's take an example. You have 4 routers. Okay, you connected all of them. Okay, so this OSPF is like area 1. Okay, then you have a different 5 routers again, and this time you connected all of the routers with a switch because you have that requirement. Okay, so this is also an area. So let's call this is area 5. So then you may have 2 routers only, or maybe okay, like this. Okay, you have different areas. Okay, so this is area like area 7. Okay, so now I'm randomly taking areas because you can create as many areas. It's like you can create millions of areas. And best thing about OSPF, you can have unlimited routers. Okay, unlimited routers. There is no limit in OSPF, but you can't, you should not, you can't, you can, but you should not add, like, according to Cisco, you should not add 40 to 50 more than 40 to 50 routers per area. Cisco says 40 to 50 routers is okay for my normal routers. But if you go beyond that, it can increase your, again, which 3 things? CPU, memory, and bandwidth. So the problem with this, the only design, okay, so the only design made by 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨𝐫, my uncle, that all the areas should connect to one area, that is area 0. Okay, so that is called backbone. And why it is important, this is also interview question. Okay, that all the areas, this is the area 0. Okay, and all the areas should connect to, okay, so area 0 routers. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is the design. So first line, all areas should connect to area 0. Another thing, area 0 is mandatory. You cannot have OSPF network without area 0 in OSPF network. Area 0 is mandatory. And that's why a break is mandatory. 5 minutes. Coming in 5 minutes, okay? Virtual link, yeah, it's an advanced concept. Let's hold on virtual link. Okay, so there is a concept like if you do not have area 0, then what you will do? Okay, then there are solutions, okay? So let's take a break of 5 minutes and come back. Okay, I'm back. How can we decide the area 0? Okay. Okay, so let me repeat. So suppose you have area 1 here and you have area 7. You cannot talk to area 7 directly. Okay, you cannot connect a link between area 1 and area 7 directly by default. Okay, but by default, you have to connect area 1 with area 0. So area 0 is called backbone area. Okay, which area? Backbone. Okay, so this is backbone area. So why it is called backbone? Because all the areas are connected to this. Okay, like we have a backbone, right? So backbone area. Okay, because all the areas should connect to area 0. And area 0 is mandatory. Why area 0 is mandatory? Because a router, okay, there is a concept in OSPF which is called ABR. Okay, so let's understand. Okay, so suppose. Okay, so there are going to be some routers which are connecting. Okay, so consider this router. Okay, so this router, this link is in area 1, right? A1. ये link जो है, because OSPF is a link state, right? So we configure OSPF on links also. So this link in area 1 and this link is in which area? Area 0. So whenever a router participate in two or more areas, okay, when a router is a member of two or more areas, that router is called ABR. Area border router. Area border router. And this is why, because only ABR router can forward area 1 message to area 0. Okay, so that is called LSA 3 basically, which we will see later on. Okay, but area 1 information will go to another area with the help of only one router, that is called area border router. The same way, if this router has area 0 link and this link in area 7, so this router is also what? ABR. Okay, you can see this router, this is in area 5 and this is in 0. So this is also ABR. So how many ABRs you see right now? 3 ABRs. Because these 3 area border routers, what is ABR? ABR which participates in multi-area. Okay, with area 0. Okay, it means area 0 is mandatory also here. Okay, if you have a router, one link in area 5, one in area 1, this is not ABR. Interview question. Again, this is not ABR, guys. But if you have one link in area 0, if you add one link which is 0, then it becomes ABR. Okay, any router which has a different areas plus area 0, that is ABR. Okay, so if you have 0, 5, so you can see this router has area 1, area 0, this is ABR. This has 7 and 0, ABR. 5 and 0, ABR, means 0 is mandatory. Area 0 and area 0 is mandatory for ABR also. Okay, so that's the reason we have area 0. Okay, why we have area 0? Because area, with the help of area 0, we have ABRs, and the ABRs router forward information. What ABR do? Forward information from one area to another. Okay, forward information from one area to another. Okay, so let me show you some design patterns. Okay, so what we do in industry, तो हम companies में क्या करते हैं? So what we do, okay, so there should be one core area. Okay, okay, so just for practical understanding, we have taken like one router. Okay, but try to understand here. There is a core. Core means it can have multiple areas also. Okay, means this is just an example that we have added one router, but it is but in real it can be like 10 routers, 50 routers. Okay, so consider, so this is core area. Distribution, this is a different area like with a lot of routers, and these are access. Okay, maybe this is a Delhi branch, then it is like Mumbai, then it is like Chennai. Okay, then Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai is connected to some another location like maybe Pune. Okay, and after that Pune location further connected to maybe another core branch, maybe that is Bangalore. Okay, so this is the design, or maybe you can take more example like this is your India location, and all the locations then connected to maybe Singapore, and then Singapore is connected to maybe, like you can say all the Indian offices then connected to the distribution routers in Singapore and let's call Amsterdam. Okay, which is in Netherlands. Okay, so India offices are connected to Singapore office also, and also connected to Amsterdam. And then these routers, Singapore location routers, are connected to further maybe our US office. Okay, so Singapore office and Amsterdam office is also connected to US. So this is also one of the I have taken one reference from Apple. Okay, that we have connected Indian offices with Singapore and Amsterdam. Okay, like different locations like Dubai. Okay, Malaysia. All the mostly all offices, they are connected to the data centers of Singapore and Amsterdam, and then the Singapore and Amsterdam offices are connected to the US San Jose, wherever is the office, we have connected there. Okay, so means areas depend, like area 0 आप कहाँ रखो, area 0 you can keep on the top. Okay, where your core network is there. Okay, then you can have different areas like area 5 in Singapore, area 10 in Amsterdam, and Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai you can add in one areas, or maybe in a different areas. So again, remember, Cisco recommend 40 to 50 routers, but it is not mandatory. Okay, but Cisco says 40 to 50 routers per area is okay. So it means OSPF is used for a small network. Also, it is used for a very big network also. Okay, separate layers with ABR. Okay, you can keep ABRs in the offices. Okay. Okay, you can take this example also if you have a small office. Okay, you can connect your head offices in area 0. Okay, you can connect Delhi in area 1, Mumbai in area 2, Chennai in area 3. Okay. And you can keep, like in this case, who is the ABR? Only this router is ABR, right? But in this case, if you add all these links in area 0 and you just keep area 1, area 2, area 3 in their LAN networks, then you have 3 ABRs, 1, 2, and 3. Right? So if you don't worry, you will understand. I'll show you this image later on also. But try to understand this design also. It is, yeah, Tosif. एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ, like when I was working in a project, I was taking care of Vodafone UK network. They had two in 2012. They have almost 8,000 plus routers in UK. Okay, and it is like their normal big, good routers, 8,000 plus routers. Okay, so just imagine if you talk about today Airtel in India, it may have more than 30-40,000 routers. God knows exactly the number. Okay, because I'm not from Airtel. I'm just, मैं guess कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे कि 25-30 हजार राउटर होंगे इनके. Okay, they may have 25 to 30,000 routers because India is a big location according to UK. So they may have 2 to 3x more routers. Can there be multiple area zero in? No, 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 Saurabh. You cannot have multiple area zeros. This is the design fault then. So then if you have two different area zeros, then you have to connect those areas also together. Aksha? Earlier image has two area zero where? No, no, they are two different design, yaar. This is a separate one option A, this is option B. Okay, they are not one network. Okay, in this picture. Okay, it is just trying to relate. Okay, that's area zero. Configure the core as backbone area, and these routers then connected to area zero. This is what they are saying. Okay, so after that, okay, so in the end, we can configure this type of a lab. Okay, you can see area 1, area 0, area 3 like that. So OSPF is very, very easy to configure. So what I recommend you all, we can use very, very basic OSPF today. Okay, so let's log in and I'll go to OSPF section and there is a OSPF lab. Okay, it's a big lab, but so what I'll do, I'll just turn on today router 1, router 3, router 2, and router 10. Okay, so let's turn only the 3 routers, router 1, router 10, router 3. Okay, so let's focus on these 3 routers because I do not want to get in more detail today for the lab. Okay, so we have to focus on 3 routers only. Okay. Okay, so just see the routers, router 3, router 10, router 1. Okay, so we will configure OSPF in these 3 routers. And OSPF is super easy to configure. So today we will be doing a lab of single area. Okay, we will not do multi-area today, guys. Next time we will be doing a multi-area lab. Okay, so abhi single area karenge hum. So we'll do a single area lab. Okay, I will not configure area 1 here. Okay, so just enable router 1. So this is router 1, router 10, and then we have router 3. Okay, so because as an engineer, we have to configure the routers one by one. Okay, you can do the same in packet tracer also for the time being. So router 1. IP helper command is a DHCP command, Shantanu. It's not a required here. I will tell you what is IP helper, don't worry. Okay, whenever I configure DHCP, just remind me, I will explain helper address. Okay, so this is router 1, enable configure terminal host name R1. Okay, and just give IP address interface FA00, IP address 192.168. 10.1. No shutdown. Okay, so very easy. Just one single command for OSPF, guys. I'm teaching you the most important OSPF configuration, that is called interface mode. So when you go to interface, give IP, just type here IP, then OSPF, then put a process ID. Okay, which ID? Process ID. You can put any number like 1, 2, 3, whatever. Okay. So I'm saying IP OSPF 1. Okay. Then you say which area? FA00 is in which area? I'm configuring these three routers in area 0. So you can say area, and you can see how many areas you can create. 42 millions. Okay. It is a very big number. 4 billion something. Okay. Exactly. You can just check. Okay. So it is like 2 the power of 32. It's a very, very big number. Okay. Okay. IP OSPF 1 area 0. तुम्हें फील तो नहीं होगा ना मुझे कोल्ड है? Okay, area IP OSPF 1 area 0. Okay, so just that's it, guys. That's it. Okay, so just let me show you again. Go to interface, give IP address. Okay, give this command IP OSPF 1 area 0. So the OSPF 1 is a process ID. Okay, it is not mandatory to have the same process ID, but it is always recommended to have the same process ID. Process ID same होना mandatory नहीं है, but recommended है कि same दो. Okay. So it is recommended to use the same process ID. And why you have different process IDs? Because it is for big company networks. Like suppose you are Airtel and you are managing 10,000 clients. Okay. If you are ISP, you are giving 10,000 customers internet connection. You can run 10,000 different OSPF for 10,000 different customers. Okay. Or let's make it simple. If you have 50 customers, you can give every customer a process ID, but I am not configuring, I'm not doing any ISP configuration today. I am doing OSPF for my company network. So that's why I will keep all my OSPF routers in a process ID 1. Clear? And also give no shutdown command. Okay, so let me show you one command, show processes CPU, and type include OSPF. Okay, let me show you when I give OSPF. So is OSPF is running on my router or not? So once I configure OSPF, is there any way to see the process? Because I am running OSPF 1 as a process. Okay, now tell me guys, if you go to your computer, laptop, you go to a task manager, you see all your processes, yes or no? Yeah. So can you see there are process IDs also here? In your computer also, there are process IDs. You can see process ID 7642. Every task has a process ID, PID. Right? The same way you are just telling the router that I'm running OSPF process, and you can see here that OSPF is running and OSPF process ID 1 is started, but they have their unique process IDs also 93, 192. Okay, because every task has at some number. Okay, but for our, so that we understand OSPF is running, okay, you run OSPF 2. Okay, suppose if I say to any other interface which is not working, I will configure maybe area 1, right? Okay, but IP is not configured. Maybe let me show you IP address 192.168.15.1. So I'm just doing a configuration which is not required right now, but just to show you that if I run OSPF 1, instead of process ID 1, if I give here process ID 2, so what will happen? Show process CPU. So you can see OSPF यहाँ पे 2 बार चल रहा है. Are you getting my point? The more process IDs you are running in OSPF, it means your CPU, memory, bandwidth increases. Okay. So if you run multiple process IDs, there is no logic in a small company. But when you are a big company, then it's fine because maybe you have different customers. Okay. But here, what I want you to understand, remember just one interface FA00, and I have given IP OSPF1 area 0. Okay. And if you want to remove OSPF, so you can just type IP OSPF2. Okay, like whatever commands you have given, just type no, and then it is configured. Okay, so आपको सिर्फ अभी एक इंटरफेस को OSPF में डालना है. You just have to add one interface in OSPF 0. So you can see show IP interface brief. This is a command to check interface, and there is a command to check OSPF also. Show IP OSPF बीच में डाल दो इस कमांड के. Okay, add OSPF in between this command, show IP OSPF interface brief, and this command will give you the update which interface is running OSPF. So now tell me on which interface we are running OSPF FA00. Now show please OSPF process. तुम खुद मत कुछ कर लेना. I have to delete the OSPF2 by typing no router OSPF2. Okay, then it will stop all those processes. Okay, now you can see OSPF2 is gone. Okay, so let's configure now router 10. Enable config T, hostname R10, which is middle router, and it has two interfaces FA00, IP address 192.168.10. It's router 10, so I'll keep the last subnet 10, and IP OSPF1 area 0. Interface FA0/1 IP OSPF1 area. IP OSPF1 area 0. Okay, IP रह गया. Interface FA01, IP address 192.168.30.10, because the last route subnet I'm taking .10. IP OSPF1 area 0. Okay, you can confirm which command, guys. Show IP interface brief will give you IP address. Okay, both IPs are configured, and show IP OSPF interface brief will give you the update. Okay, that you configured both the interfaces in process ID 1, and both the interfaces are part of area 0. And the good thing here, they became neighbor. R10 and R1 became neighbors. You can see show IP OSPF neighbor, and router 10 is showing you the IP address of router 1 that it became my neighbor. Okay, so the neighbor is full, means like I have full connectivity with this neighbor. Okay, so this is state. Okay, link state, remember? And just 30 seconds back, the neighbor came up, and the IP address of my neighbor is 10.1, and my neighbor is on the FA00 interface. R10 FA00 connected to router 1 neighbor. 10.1 is the IP. State is full, means full connectivity. 31 seconds back, like connectivity came up, IP address and the interface name. So let me configure on router 3. When I configure on router 3, so tell me router 10 will show you router 3 also? Yeah. Let's configure the router 3. Config T host router 3. Interface FA00. IP address 192.168.30.3. No shutdown. IP OSPF1 area 0. Database अभी नहीं पढ़ेंगे यार, तौसीफ रुको तुम. Okay, so we'll learn the database, don't worry. You will get confused now if I show you database. Okay, you can see there is a message here, loading done. Can you see that? Like the game gets loaded, right? When you play any game, the game is getting loading. Okay, the same way the OSPF is loading the database, and now it has full connectivity. So now if I go to router 10, and if I show you the neighbor again, you can see we have full connectivity with both the neighbors. Okay. So now I should able to ping from router 1 to router 3. Yeah. So do you think the 30 network show IP route OSPF. Are we getting any routes from OSPF? Yes. So this 30.0, okay. So this 30.0 network, router 10, router 10 is sharing this network. So this router 10 is sending this information to router 1, and that is in the database table, you can see. And there is a symbol O. O means OSPF. You can see there is a O. So this 30.0 network I'm getting from OSPF AD value 110. Okay, because it has a AD value 110. And this 20 is cost. Okay. So this is the cost. This is AD value. This is cost. Okay. ये तो network है, सभी को पता है. This is network, what you are getting from OSPF. Okay. Okay. And this is from which neighbor you are getting. Okay. This is your next hop. Okay. कि भी किसके through मिल रहा है. Okay. So this is your next hop. That who is sending that information to you. That is your next hop. Okay. Very simple. So shall we proceed? Yeah. So let's ping. Ping. So let me ping the router 10, 19, router 3, 192.168.30.3. So let's see. Yeah, I'm getting the ping, guys. Can you see that? Yeah. 30.3 ping ho raha hai, dekho yahan pe. Okay. 30.3 is reachable. It means if I just keep doing this lab, I will be able to ping the entire network. Okay. So let's turn on router 2, router 4. Okay. Just last thing for today. I'm not able to load router 2. Maybe there is some problem. I will fix this very soon. Okay, I will check router 2 is having some issue. I have to check after this. So router 4 dekhte hain abhi. Okay, so let's add router 4. So whenever a new network is added, how you configure? Okay. I want all of you to do this practical. Okay, you can use packet tracer also. And if you want to do the lab on our servers, the lab name is OSPF LSAs. Okay. Config T, interface FS0, hostname R4, interface FS00, IP address 192.168.40.4. Okay, so after that, no shutdown. IP OSPF1 area 0. Okay, so you configured router 4, but remember router 10. In router 10, we need to give IP address to FA20 because FA2/0 is not configured. So config T, interface FA2/0, IP address 192.168.40.10. Okay, router 4 I have not configured. Yeah, 40.4. Okay. Okay, so after that you just have to say IP OSPF1 area 0 and router 10 will become neighbor with router 4 also. 1, 2, 3, 3. neighbor nahi aa raha hai. IP OSPF. I think router 4. Okay. So let me check if I'm getting the neighbor or not. Yes. So neighbor is stuck. Okay. So there is this. So there is two-way something written over here. Okay. It means they are not fully neighbor. So two-way means they are just sending hello to each other. Okay. So wait just for some time. Yeah. You can see now. After some time, it has also taken the full role. But before that, they were two-way. Means they were only sending hello. So this PRI is priority. So by default, all the router has a priority 1. Okay, I will explain this you when we understand this DR BDR. Okay. So आज के लिए सिर्फ इतना ही था. Okay. So that you have to just configure this type of a lab. Okay. You can configure any lab on packet tracer, or if you want to do this, that's okay. Okay, let me write a very basic configuration for today. If you do the same lab, okay, very easy configuration. Okay, so पांचों को राउटर कर लेना तुम, ठीक है? Configure all 5 routers. In my router, it is giving me some error. Okay, so just go to the routers config T. Okay, so then go and give the host names like R1. Okay, then go to the interface FA00, IP address 192.168.10.1. No shutdown. Then IP OSPF 1 area 0. Very simple configuration. So just now go to router 4. Router 4 FA00 40.4. Okay, done. Okay, then go to router 2. Okay, but router 2 भी ऐसे ही करेंगे. Go to FA00 20.2. Okay, done. Router ID I will explain. Automatically router will pick the router ID. Don't worry. तुम सबको आगे आगे क्यों भागना है यार? जो पढ़ा है उसको 100% तो समझो. Okay, router 3, then we have 30.3, then OSPF. Okay, so in all 4 routers which are connected to router 10, we just have one interface, but only router 10, which is like the main router here, it has 4 interfaces. So you configure FA0010.10. Okay, then you go to another interface FA01, which is 30.10. Then you go to another interface, which is FA1/0, which is 20.10. Okay, then you go to another interface FA2/0, okay, which is 40.10. Okay, ये पूरी config आ गई है भाई, ठीक है? So this is the config, and let me add here, yeah, in your notes. Okay, ये config आ गई है तुम्हारी, and this is the lab. Just focus here, okay? Not further. ओके, कर लेना, ठीक है? OSP basic lab you can do on packet tracer, whatever, wherever you want to do. Okay, and also like today whatever screenshots, so this is like, just hold on. I will add in your notes. Okay, so this is like OSPF day 1 notes. Okay, so where I have to add your screenshots, so whatever I have added. एक सेकंड यार, सॉरी, मेरे ना मॉनिटर का लेफ्ट साइड, I think from here to here. देख लेना, ठीक है? सारे डाल दिए, ठीक है? ओके कूल, हम ही लिख रहे थे। Every okay, so how you find this lab? Because almost everyone you got.
माफ करें, मैं समझी नहीं।
Okay, so कौन गूगल थी? मैं समझी नहीं, मेरी गूगल भी हिंदी में, मैं इतना देसी हूँ। ओके, सो यहाँ पे राउटिंग में जाना है, गो टू राउटिंग एंड गो टू this OSPF LSA. Okay, so you can see OSPF LSA lab. Okay, so you can see here, you can open, and this is the same lab, Saurabh. Okay, it is not mandatory to use only this lab. You know the basic concept. You go to our lab and you will see a lot of things here. Okay, you can start doing OSPF on 2 routers. You can configure here also. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि उसी लैब पे करना है, you can configure OSPF here also. Okay, you can configure on any lab. Okay, you can configure here also. You can try to connect this scenario. पता नहीं किसने बनाया. Not a good design that you are connected, but yeah, you can connect like Delhi LAN network to Mumbai, and you can configure this OSPF also. So there are plenty of labs. You can start doing practice, and you can see there is a multi-area something up. So you can configure OSPF in this also. Okay. You can connect, try to configure these 3 routers in area 0. So there are a lot of labs. You can keep practicing here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, question time. If you guys have. नहीं तो तुम मुझे तरस खा सकते हो, अगले हफ्ते ले लेना. Yeah, Amit. Hi.
Hi sir. सर जस्ट आई वुड लाइक टू नो, जैसे EIGRP में क्वेरी और अपडेट था ना, वैसे इसमें क्या होता है? जैसे क्वेरी अपडेट
5 packets. Hello.
Hmm.
Then we have link state update, link state request, link state acknowledgement.
ओके, मतलब सिमिलर ही होता है सर, सिर्फ लिंक
Yeah,
स्टेट बोलते
almost
हैं
it is similar. If you are good at EIGRP, it would be easy for you to understand OSPF also.
ओके सर.
Thank you. Yeah, Tausif, where are you? I can't see you. Yeah, Tausif.
Yeah, so my question is about when you make agency with OSPF. So you didn't mention the state for initiate, extart, and all those.
No,
Did
we'll
you mention?
discuss. We'll discuss all those states also. So OSPF is way big protocol. I can't explain everything in one class. So we will learn those states. Don't worry. Okay. But everyone, you got the idea of OSPF today, right? Yeah. Any other?
And can you send the link for the notes?
The same link what I have already shared with all of you. Craft notes है ना जो आपके, उसी में देखो एक बार. Check your craft notes. Let me share again, okay? Just hold on. So you need specifically OSPF or yeah, you can see here. Okay, got it? Yeah. Okay. Saurabh, any question?
Yes, sir. Sir, suppose that I have my area 0 network in US and my other network is in India. So it is not possible for me to connect directly area 0 to our India network. So
India network in OSPF, which area?
area 1.
Hmm.
And it is not possible to place a direct link from area 0 from US to India. So is it possible that I can connect with another area and that is connected
Yeah,
to...
there is a concept called virtual link. Okay, that is like little advanced, but it is also not a stable solution. Cisco do not recommend virtual links. So that is a way like you can recover from a bad design. Okay, so suppose there is a network area 1, area 2. So in some situation, when you want to connect one area with another area without area 0, okay, then we have to create a virtual link. Okay, which maybe after 3-4 classes we will do that.
Okay, sir, but in this case, can we use a GRE tunnel to directly connect with the area 0? Any one of that?
GRE tunnel, like one router is
Yes.
in area 1, another router is in area 2, right?
Area 0.
1 or 0.
Yes.
1 or 0 will work, yaar.
Even with GRE tunnel.
No, 1 or 0 by default will work also. 1 and 2, let's take area 1, area 2, they will not work. Yeah. And in GRE tunnel also, GRE tunnel will just create a direct connection with the VPN tunnel. Still, you need areas from both the sides same. If you configure this router, example, oh, ये दो router दिख रहे हैं. Okay, take this example, these two router. One side you have to configure area 1. The opposite end of that link also should be in same area, else there will be a mismatch area error. आमने सामने दोनों area same होने चाहिए. Okay. But rest you will get your answers once we go further in detail. Yeah, Nirmal.
हाँ सर, मैं कह रहा था जो हम लोग का डायग्राम था उसमें तो 2, 3, 4 मतलब आउटसाइड में जो था वो तो ABR हो गया. तो सर राउटर 10 को हम मतलब कौन सा राउटर बोलेंगे इसमें?
कुछ नहीं अभी so right now we are doing single area lab. There is no ABR in my network right now. Because remember what is ABR? When the router is in multi-area. So when we configured our lab today, so means there are no different areas. We configured everything in single area today. So there is no ABR. Okay? There is no ABR today. So next time we will be doing a multi-area. Then I'll explain more about ABR, all those functionalities.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir, same process ID for one area or for all area, like same process ID?
You can keep same in all the entire network.
Okay, so that bandwidth and that consumption will be.
Why to run different process IDs? Because it is just a process, okay? Nothing, you can keep it different also. Okay, but the problem when you keep different process IDs on every router, you will not be able to understand, okay, on Delhi router, what process ID I have configured, on Mumbai router, what process ID I have configured. So it is recommended to use the same process ID, else engineers will get confused where I have configured which process IDs. Okay, but you can keep same and you can have different also, but recommendation is to have the same process ID. Yeah. Any other? Naveen, any doubt?
No, I'm clear, Atul. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Binod.
Sir, for convergence point of view, which one is faster, EIGRP or OSPF for any path failure or something?
So there is no comparison, but yes, EIGRP is much faster because it stores the backup path in the topology table. So OSPF has to calculate again from the database and all. But EIGRP has already keep it handy with himself that whenever a link goes down, if EIGRP router has a backup link, the convergence is more faster when EIGRP has a backup link. But if EIGRP do not have a backup link, then OSPF EIGRP almost they work on a same speed.
Okay.
Yeah, Syed.
Sir, process ID and AS number is same or not?
AS number, yeah, kind of, but they are two different protocols. So
because EIGRP is I think using AS number, right?
Yeah. So the same thing. So in one router, you can run multiple EIGRP processes also by typing AS. Like, let me show you. Okay. Okay, so whenever you configure a lab, okay, suppose there is a lab here. Okay, so whenever you configure a router, okay, so you can configure multiple 𝐊𝐺RP, multiple OSPF. So how you configure multiple 𝐊𝐺RP, okay, or multiple OSPF? Process IDs, okay, AS numbers. Okay, so this is the way. Okay, and when it is needed, guys, when you are a service provider, okay, but not like Airtel or big ISP. When even in India, it is not a famous term, but in US, Canada, UK, there are MSPs also, okay, managed service providers. Okay, so what they do, so means they will manage your company network, they will install routers. In India also, it is quite some people are MSPs, but in US, Canada, or like different. So these MSP companies, they configure entire network, they give lease line, everything they do from. And if you are MSP, not ISP, so if you are MSP and you have different clients, okay, then maybe you can configure your different clients like that. Okay, like router OSPF 1, router OSPF 2, router OSPF 3, router OSPF 4, router OSPF 5. The same way you can say router 𝐊𝐺RP 1, router 𝐊𝐺RP 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then you can see show IP protocols. So you can see 𝐊𝐺RP, OSPF 2, OSPF 3, OSPF 4, OSPF 5, 𝐊𝐺RP 1, 𝐊𝐺RP 2, 𝐊𝐺RP 3, 𝐊𝐺RP 4, 5. Got it? You can also check show run processes, show processes CPU. Okay, you can say include OSPF. You can see 5 different processes are running for OSPF. And 𝐊𝐺RP, I think you can search 𝐊𝐺RP. So 5 different 𝐊𝐺RP is running on my router. Clear? So that is normally in ISP. ISP manages also like this, OSPF, 𝐊𝐺RP. So in a big company, like they can run different OSPF and 𝐊𝐺RP for different customer. So you will understand this thing when I will show you what we call MPLS. Okay, so we'll be doing a lab of MPLS where you understand this thing. Okay, I hope you got the point now. Okay. Sir, if all area connected to area 0, then if any router from different area have any alerts, then those, yeah, alert reachability is a different thing. Ehsan. Okay, so you can keep a syslog. Okay. Okay, syslog. So basically syslog is a software which can track your events. So whenever anything goes happen in your network, you can give an alert on that syslog server like this. Okay. So, okay, I will explain you this syslog also, don't worry. OSPF, next time we will configure multi-area OSPF and all. Okay, and if we get time, we will see this syslog also. Okay. Rahul, any doubt? Yeah.
Sir, my question is MTU, right?
Mhm.
The maximum transmission unit.
Mhm.
Sir, basically MTU is sent in packet, right? I'm right. So for find out the size of packets. But how am to determine the size of packets?
So basically on every interface, there is an MTU. Okay, so whenever you go to any router, यार मैं router बंद कर दिया. ठीक है, so I'll show you so just type a command. Remember 𝐊𝐺RP show interface, then you see bandwidth delay MTU. So every interface has a MTU 1500 on WAN connections. You can increase your MTU. You can increase your MTU on your LAN networks. Okay. But normally in the WAN connection maximum, you can send a packet of 1500 bytes.
Okay.
Okay, suppose you are listening to a song which is like 5 MB. So it means 5000 KB, right?
Okay.
And 5000 KB has 3 zeros, this much bytes, right? So if you say 5 MB into bytes, let me show my screen. Okay, so if you see 5 MB is like 5000 KB. Okay, and if you just calculate, this is like a very big number, like this much, right? 3 MB has 3000, so 5 MB has this much. So this is 5 MB is this many bytes. And just imagine if your MTU is 1500, so it means just to listen a 5 MB song, okay, or just to download a 5 MB file, your router has to process 3300 packets.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you are downloading, suppose 50 MB file or 500 file, 500 MB file, so it means your router processed almost 3 lakh packets.
Okay.
1 GB भी दिखाऊं? 1 GB is almost 6 lakh packets.
और सर हर एक पैकेट का साइज
66,000 almost, yeah. Huh?
मतलब इतने पैकेट्स बोला ना 66,000
1500
पैकेट्स
is maximum. But
साइज
normally you will not send data in 1500 because in 1500 there is a MTU MSS concept also. So what is MTU MSS? So when you send a packet, okay, so जब भी आप packet भेजते हो, whenever you send a packet, there is IP header, right? Because you send all packets with IP header. Whenever you send a packet with IP header, it takes almost a TCP header. So 20 byte, like 40 bytes. IP header also take 40, TCP also take 40. So it means normally if you are using website or watching any video on YouTube, so normally suppose you are suppose again, if you have listening to a YouTube music with 500, so it has to be divided by 1460. So actually, so your router has to process 3400 packets for 5 MB file. And for 50 MB, it is like 34,000. For 500 MB, it is like, it will keep increasing the number, okay? Because MTU is, what is the maximum packet we can send on internet, that is called MTU. You can see यहाँ से यहाँ तक bracket दिख रहा है? Including your data, including your IP header, including your Ethernet header. Okay, IP header plus TCP header plus payload is your data. Okay, what you are listening, what you are sending on internet, that is payload. So all three things combined is called MTU, maximum transmission unit. Okay, and your data, only data is called MSS, maximum segment size. The actual data inside the packet is MSS. M2 is the whole. IP, TCP and data is MTU. देखो bracket दिख रहा है ना? See the boundary. M2 is IP header, TCP header and data. And TCP MSS is only the payload, means only the data. Okay? That's the thing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Avinash.
एरिया 0 में जो मतलब बैकबोन एरिया में रहेंगे जो राउटर, वो सारे एबीआर राउटर होंगे क्या? क्या एबीआर मतलब जो, अच्छा, वो जो बाहर से कनेक्टेड रहेंगे वही एबीआर रहेंगे?
Yeah, the edge routers are only ABR routers which are connected to different areas. The routers who are in the core of area 0, they are backbone routers, not ABR routers.
Okay, okay.
Okay, if any router only part of area 0, that is backbone router. If any router is part of area 0 with additional any other area, that is ABR.
तो कोर राउटर डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड हो सकते हैं क्या बाहर के नेटवर्क को, या फिर बीच में मतलब
It
कोई
is
मीडिएटर
no. Core routers can be connected to data centers or can be connected to any big third-party site. It depends on company design, Avinash.
Okay.
Yeah. Lovedeep, any doubt? Yeah. Yeah, hi, Saf. Yes. You're not audible today. Check your mic.
Hello?
Yeah, audible now.
Yeah. If there's any LAN networks connected to, let's say, router 10, even those will be advertised?
Yes, everything.
Okay.
If router 10 is connected to any of the LAN network, okay, so just have to go to that LAN network and add that command IP OSPF command on your LAN interface, and that LAN interface or LAN network will be advertised. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we don't add that IP OSPF, it's not going to be advertised.
No. Suppose a department like research, so you do not want to send research department to OSPF, or you do not want other departments can use that department. So you do not go just give this command to your research department.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Where is Arun Verma? Any doubt? Okay. Shizu, any doubt?
Yes, sir. If we have some static route on the production, if we want to migrate it to OSPF, so what will be the process? Because in our current
redistribution
scenario,
is a it is very simple process. Just wait for like 1 or 2 class. I'll cover the redistribution. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Farhad, any doubts? Okay, no doubts. Okay. Then yeah, Saurabh.
Okay, sir, there are two ways to configure OSPF. One is interface and another one is network command, right?
Yeah, network command is also there.
Sir, but I tried multiple times, but network command with a network command OSPF agency is not getting connected. So can you please describe what is the actual command of that? I am just doing IP OSPF 12 and network, something and only that. Do I have
No. So the same thing, suppose you want to configure, right? Let me show you right away here, and you can try this in your lab. Okay, suppose router 2, you do not want to configure like this. Okay. You do not want to Dikh raha hai na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can try this. You can go under router OSPF 1 and just type here network 192.168.20.0, then wildcard mask. Then area 1. This is the command. Okay.
Sir, do we have to define neighbor in this? Neighbor?
No, nothing. Neighbor is not required. That is a different configuration used in what we call frame relay kind of technologies. It is not required nowadays. Okay, that's called OSPF unicast neighbor. When you do not want to, because frame relay technology, एक ऐसी technology थी. Frame relay is a technology which do not support multicast, also do not support broadcast. That's why it is called NBMA, non-broadcast, no multi-access. NBMA, no broadcast, no multi-access. That's why we have to create a neighbor with unicast. Okay. In those old technologies in OSPF, we have to give neighbor commands, but nowadays it is not required, bro. I think you are learning or referring to very old content. Do not refer. सच बोल रहा हूँ. Okay, maybe you're watching old content. Yes, Nirmal. Shekhar, coming to you after this.
Sir, बोल रहे कि अगर I mean if area 1 wants to connect area 2, so उसको area 0 होकर ही मतलब जाना होगा या फिर they can connect directly like this?
No, they can't direct connect. Like area 1 wants to go to area 2, it will
2,
only
3 whatever. 2, 3 whatever.
Any area, any areas. If they want to communicate, area should be the mediator.
Area 0 should be the mediator, backbone area.
Yeah, mediator, or it should be in the middle of those areas. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Shekhar.
Sir, suppose
Amit after. Yeah.
sir, suppose different vendor router is there connected in this in the zero area.
Mhm.
At the time, syntaxes are same or the syntaxes are different one?
So when you configure in Cisco or Juniper, you are asking about the commands are
Dell
different
router.
or not?
Yes, Dell
Yes,
router.
commands are different, bro.
Okay,
Commands
because
are different.
OSPF is a open standard, right?
Open standard in the, suppose it's like what we call, what example I should give you? Okay, so it's like OSPF is a research. Okay, now you are Juniper, I am Cisco. I will add that research, that protocol in my router with my coding, right? Because my command line interface is different. Okay, like for example, let's take an example. The best example for that is Linux has many flavors. Like Ubuntu has a different command set. If you go to Debian, which is the parent of Ubuntu, maybe. So under that Debian, like all the Linux flavors are same. Like Kali Linux, Ubuntu, all they work similar. But if you go to Red Hat Linux or CentOS, they work on different Linux commands because they refer to the different kernel. So every different OS has a different kernel, and you can, and Linux is open source, everybody knows. Yeah, suna hai na, Linux is a open source technology. So you can customize your Linux platform and you can build your own Linux platforms also. The same way what these companies are doing, even it is Cisco, Juniper, Huawei, they using Linux systems. They add the Linux operating system in their routers, customized a lot, and then they change the commands, everything and all that. And this is, then they say this is a Cisco iOS. But at the back end, they are Linux. Juniper also running on Linux. All operating system in the world today is Linux based. Okay, mostly apart from Windows, even Windows functionalities nowadays are also Linux based, like PowerShell and all. What I heard till now. Got the point? Yeah, Mit. Your voice is not coming. I think check your mic.
सर अभी आ रहा है?
हाँ, या
सर आपने अभी एक इथरनेट फ्रेम दिखाया था जिसमें लास्ट में FCS लिखा था. What was FCS? मतलब what is FCS?
FCS is frame check sequence. Whenever I send a packet to you, suppose due to some fiber issue or any cable issue, my packet gets because whenever I send my data to from my computer to router to anywhere, that goes in signals. And when you receive the signals, if due to cable issue, if you do not get proper signals, then the checksum value or the values will change. And when the value should be same from sender side and receiver side, then there is a technique called frame check sequence. Okay, that will all check errors. If you have a lot of errors, then it will report to your interface, okay, that this interface has errors, collisions and all. And then you can change the cable. You can track the interface by typing show interface command and you can see all the errors.
या सर, और एक दूसरा एक जस्ट एक टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन. अभी आपने राउटर OSPF 1 और फिर सिर्फ नेटवर्क उसके बाद में नेटवर्क.
I will teach you this, don't worry. I will show you this method.
नहीं, मतलब मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि सर वो इंटरफेस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में जाके करना है या बाहर ही ग्लोबल कॉन्फ़िगरेशन मोड में करना है?
No. Or I have written or here. Okay, so either you configure this way, and if you want, like if you know the EIGRP mode, you can go and go to OSPF and then give the network command inside this under router. Okay. So router OSPF 1 always configure in the config T.
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
चिरंजीत.
सर वो जो आपने बताया था कि हम लोग जब कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं तो दोनों तरफ से कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकते हैं. एक आपका इंटरफेस में जाके और आपका और एक पर सबनेट ये जो क्या बोलते हैं उसको
network command.
नेटवर्क
So
कमांड
there
में
are,
अगर
yeah, so we have two ways. One is interface mode, one is network mode.
तो कौन सा का बेटर है सर?
Interface mode.
इंटरफेस मोड। अच्छा वो सर बेसिकली
That's why
सर
I'm in the first class, I'm teaching you interface mode.
ओके सर
99% people will start teaching you network commands. But when you go to the production networks, it all starts with the interface modes. I'm sure most of the people are already working in the industry, so they can tell you all, mostly we configure interface mode. Okay. But if it is a small company, maybe they are using network command. But if it is a good company or MNC, they mostly big networks, they always use interface modes. Network mode is okay, but it is not trendy now. Okay, it's not about trendy or non-trendy. It's all about the ease. So what ease you are getting here is this. So what is the use of network command? Network command is also activating the protocol on the interface. Then why to give network command? Directly give interface. Network command का भी मतलब ही है. What is network command? What is that router first identify the network, then it find where is my network, then go to that interface and activate the protocol it. So now here we configure protocol directly on the interface. That's the beauty. Okay. Ahmed, any doubts? Satish?
Hi, sir.
Hello, hello.
So my query is about that MSS only. How to identify what is the maximum size of that MSS? Any packet, for any packet.
For any packet, you have to check all with Wireshark. Okay, Wireshark can show you what is the MSS, what data you are sending in that packet. Hi, Uthman.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah.
I just had my first question was answered. Somebody asked the same question about the network command.
Okay.
The other one is for the interface. Let's say, I know we haven't done HSRP yet, but if we have two routers that are participating in an HSRP facing a LAN, and each interface is going to area 0, would we have to just configure the interface command on each? Because I know that if the interface goes down and it's done
Yeah,
the
we have to
interface level.
configure HSRP. Like we have to OSPF is a connectivity protocol. Understand? OSPF is a protocol where you have to configure OSPF on all the interfaces so that all routers are functional and they get updates from each other. So HSRP is a different concept. That is like gateway load balancing. Okay, that if computer router is, I hope you understand. Let me show my screen.
Okay.
So what is that HSRP technology? Okay, so whenever we see this HSRP, okay, let me write Cisco. Okay, so let's take an example, this one. Okay, so what is this technology that whenever, so suppose this computer, okay, so normally in one computer we have one gateway. So what if your one gateway fails, right? So you want your computer, obviously in company you have more than 1,000 employees. You will not go to 1,000 computers again and change the gateway. So you need a functionality that whenever one of my gateway goes down, automatically I shift my traffic to another side, right? So that is HSRP. Okay, so that is hot standby router protocol. It is written over here. And so basically what this protocol do, so it will just create a virtual router by two physical routers or physical layer 3 switches. It will create a virtual switch. So we have to give a virtual IP and that will be the gateway of this computer. So, and you are talking about we have to configure OSPF here or here, both sides. Yes, we have to configure OSPF both sides. And if you configure in LAN, you have to configure OSPF this side and this side also. If it is a IP connectivity domain, okay, so means everywhere we have to configure OSPF. so that if this network goes down, still you have the full functionality to the router. Okay. So that's the just an overview. Okay. Rest we check further. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Shirimukha, any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, suppose I have to transmit one data from area 1 to area 2, right? And it should through area 0 through AVR router, right? So if any issue in AVR router, maybe some AVR to area 1 router interface down, or it may go down if any one of the AVR
Got
router.
it. So what will happen? This is your question.
Yes, what will happen? I don't know. Is there any
Nothing will
mechanism to
happen.
transmit?
Nothing will happen because these are the labs what we are learning. Okay, so obviously you will not have only one ABR. Okay, maybe this router is also connected to this, and this router is also connected to this. In case if this router is down, still area 1 is not isolated. Router 1 has still the functionality with router 4. So in your company network, you will always have redundancy. What? Redundancy. Okay, you will always have backup paths so that if one ABR goes down, still you have another area ABR. So you will design in that way. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Antriksh.
So, sir, my question is that if we are having different vendors, routers, and as you told that there are, as you told in Juniper that administrative distance is 10, and in Cisco it is 1110. So, if we are having multiple vendors, so are they and they are connected together? So, are there going to be any changes or
Nothing.
no?
So when you send a Cisco routes to Juniper, Juniper will receive as a 10 AD value. When Juniper send you the routes in Cisco router, it will treat it as 110.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much for the day. Bye-bye. Good night. See you guys next time. Just revise everything what I taught today. Okay. You need to have the same like on tips, what we call. Okay. हाँ जय क्वेश्चन रह गया या Rana coming. Yeah.
Sir, like if one like a router can be a part of like more than 2 area.
Yes, that's called ABR.
No, I know, like it can be
on
a part
one
of
interface.
Yes, no, not one interface, not one interface. A router can be a part of like more than 2 area.
Router can be a part of 2 areas. That's what we call
more
ABR.
more than 2 area.
Yeah, 3 areas, 4 areas, 5 areas. So whatever interface, so router has 10 interfaces. You can put in 10 different areas. Depends on interfaces. Okay. Suppose a multi-layer switch. So in multi-layer switch, you have 50 VLANs. You can add those VLANs in 50 different areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of sometimes like, router has a limited port, the giga interpret. So we can use a multi-layer switch. We can run all this protocol on this, all the protocols we can run on the multi-layer switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
And how we calculate the cost, sir?
Cost is by default 100,000 divided by bandwidth. Okay. Suppose there is a formula in OSPF cost. Okay. So there is a formula which is like this is the basic cost in OSPF. Okay, you can see 10 MB is 10 and 100 MB is
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how Cisco understand the cost. Okay, like spanning tree pada tha na jaise apan le.
Yeah.
STP has a cost. The similar way OSPF has a, this is the formula 10 to the power of 8 divided by bandwidth. Okay.
By bandwidth.
Yeah, we'll see all these things. Yeah. Okay, don't worry.
Okay, no problem.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, Rana.
Sir, I have interview tomorrow. So,
oh man, congrats.
So second round. So basically, I have touched everything, but fundamentally I've said that I know BGP and MPLS. So what things should I know when I'm claiming that I have fundamental knowledge of BGP and MPLS?
Okay. So you just need to understand what is BGP. Okay. So just hold on. I'm thinking to give you one video so that you just prepare for that. Okay. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
From this side. Okay, so I'm sending you one video where you watch this BGP introduction video, and the guys who are free, they can also watch this. This is my one of the best BGP video. If you get time. Okay, so this is the BGP and you need MPLS also, right?
Yes, sir.
Just hold on. MPLS. So MPLS I have to check, but because I don't have right now. Yeah, I got very old video, but that's. Do one thing, just check your pre-recorded, maybe it has. Okay. You got the pre-recorded videos, right? Maybe.
Yes, sir, I have MPLS over there.
Yeah. Just BGP I sent you and MPLS watch from there. Okay.
All right.
And
Thank
they
you.
may ask, so fundamental knowledge, you need to understand why we use BGP. Okay. What is the use of BGP? What are the packets? What are attributes? Means a general theory about BGP. And it's very, if you said yes, then I can't help you in one day.
Yes, I
But
understand.
just go for the interview and try to understand, try to remember what questions they have asked. And when you feel like you are not able to answer it, okay, then just tell them that you are very beginner in BGP and MPLS, but like you can ask me questions from 𝐊𝐲RP or whatever you have knowledge. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.